Welcome to our world. Won't you come on in? Waiting just for you. Welcome to our world.
Oh, wait. Was I already recording or? No, I'm recording now. You think I never did this
I'll
before.
ask you once again. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
I'm very peeved
Go ahead. That we have to record this again.
because we recorded this episode once,
Yep.
but Jim neglected to check that the mics were working.
They
So
were
now
working. They were working. It's just
this is
the internal mic and it didn't sound good.
You are recording?
Yes.
Are you sure? Now I have trust issues.
Yes.
Now this is our first episode that we will have done twice, so I feel like it's not going to feel as exciting.
Spontaneous?
I don't remember the jokes that we made,
It's
but I
rehearsed.
feel like if we try to make them again,
No, it'll be better now.
Anyway, so welcome to Friday, everyone.
The blend.
Welcome to The Blend. If you have a better name, let us know. I don't know. It was just a blend because it's a lot of things in one episode. I don't know. Look, I'm doing my best. Okay.
You know, there was a Sirius satellite radio, XM satellite radio, and then it became Sirius XM. One of the channels on there was called The Blend.
The Blend. I remember that. And maybe subconsciously, that's where I got this from.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as we do on Fridays, we'll begin today with This Week in History. History.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted to, okay. Anyway, so very exciting. Why are you laughing? Because we did this already? It feels like deja vu.
No, I thought the singing was better that time than the first time. Go ahead.
Than the first episode that we recorded, you mean?
Yes, the original episode of this.
Okay, anyway.
Do you ever feel like deja vu?
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag
Okay, go ahead.
drifting through the moon, wanting to start again?
go on.
How are your New Year's resolutions going so far? I forgot we started that off.
Oh, today's the day.
Stop. Why do you do this? You're right. Today
Because
is
I'm into
today is the day. Friday, the day of the blend, the day that the blend
I know.
premieres.
Yes. This is
Every
the first
week.
This is the first blend of the new year. I don't remember what my New Year's resolutions
Sounds like they're going great.
were.
So I wanted to briefly share. As I said, I would ask people closest to me what I should work on. Some feedback so far. Oh, the one, because this was actually, on the one we had recorded, this was not yet feedback. Well, I'll go in order of the ones I received. Some people haven't responded yet. They said they need to think about it.
Yep.
Which
They're
is
afraid
concerning.
to offend you.
I think so. But someone said I need to, I do remember how it was said, focus more on family or communicating, staying in touch with family.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Which I'm glad that I've asked these people because that's something I feel like I do well, but apparently it's not. So that's something that I now know.
I need to do that too. I really do.
You
like
do.
Friends and family. Like there are people I forget that when I think about calling someone, they don't know that I thought about calling someone, and it's worth like 0 points.
No, you get
It's
0
not worth
points.
anything.
Back to me. So then the other thing that this person said was...
I think about calling people all the time, though.
It doesn't count. Do or do not. There is no think.
I know a lot of times it's in the middle of the night, though,
You
and I
weren't
can't call them
listening.
then.
No, but you could write a note for yourself and say, call, text, message, whatever this person in the morning. You just don't care enough.
No,
and
I do.
That's what it comes down
Sometimes
to.
I think about writing a note to remind myself.
Anyway, back to me. So the other thing then was this person said that I need to actually write or finish a book because I've been writing my whole life, but I've never finished one. Well, joke's on all of you. Haha, because I am. Past few months I've been working on a book, and when there's more going on, I'll let you know, but I'm in the editing stage right now. So it's happening, everyone. Everyone stay calm. It's happening. All right. Yep. More feedback I got was that I could work on, and this person said it in the nicest way possible, genuinely. that something I maybe could work on is that every now and then I might be just like a little bit judgmental. And I know when this person said it, they didn't just say, you're super judgmental sometimes, which is true. They didn't just say it like that because they didn't want me to get angry. And I appreciate that.
You would judge them probably.
I would judge them for that. But so that's something I'm going to work on. I'm judgmental. I acknowledge this.
I should work on that too.
On this. I get it from you. So yes, you should.
I should.
And another one that I got is that I need to stop letting certain people affect me. And I'll just leave that there. So those are my things that I wanted to share with all of you so that I can hold myself accountable. That's what we're doing this year based on the people in my life. Okay, moving on to...
If somebody's really stupid or doing something dumb,
this
how do you keep from being judgmental?
History.
Okay.
Anyway, so this week in history, very exciting is that from Cracker Barrel the other day, we got a desk calendar from the History Channel with, events for the year.
For every day.
So this will make our This Week in History much easier. So obviously It starts on the new year, so we don't have anything for the end of December, but starting January 1st. In 1980, This Week in History, Princess Victoria becomes heiress apparent of Sweden.
Wow.
This one is interesting. Don't act like you're interested by this because you have already heard all of this. You're fake.
That wasn't
that was judgmental.
The first
I'm
time
sorry.
Either.
No, this was super interesting because what happened was
what?
Princess Victoria had a younger brother born in May 1979 who had been crowned prince immediately upon his birth because of the act of succession in 1810, which stipulated only male descendants could inherit the throne and its duties. However, there was the 1979 Act of Succession removed him as first in line and replaced him with Victoria. So starting January 1st, 1980, because of this new law, Princess Victoria became the heiress apparent.
So that was kind of like an affirmative action kind of thing.
Also this week in history, 1492. I'm mad about this actually. I'm ignoring you.
Okay.
1492, the Moors lose control of Spain. I'm mad about this one because I remember making a joke. Something about the Moors that you didn't appreciate. And now we'll never know what it was. But that's it. The Moors.
We have the original recording. We can go back and listen to it.
No, it won't be as funny. You and I both know that.
You can cut it. You can put it in. Insert the joke.
This week in history, 1868, the Meiji Restoration occurs in Japan. So this one was actually interesting because this was an event that heralded the birth of modern Japan. It's when patriotic samurai from Japan's outlying domains joined with anti-shogunate nobles in restoring the emperor to power after 700 years. The impetus for the coup was a fear by many Japanese people that the nation's feudal leaders were ill-equipped to resist the threat of foreign domination. Soon after, they moved the royal court from Kyoto to Tokyo, dismantled feudalism, and enacted widespread reforms along Western models. So this completely revolutionized and changed Japan. It's like a really big deal.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
I probably did at one point or another, but it didn't really resonate that much with me.
Okay.
So.
And then in 1974, do you have any idea what might have happened in 1974?
It was Richard Nixon.
It was. You're right.
I know that one.
Richard Nixon refuses to hand over the Watergate recordings.
Yeah.
Tragic. Do you have anything to say about that? You lived through that.
It seems, yeah. And at the time it was a big deal, but it was such a different time than now. Like, I feel like politics is so much more, I feel like at that point, and maybe it was just because I was younger, I didn't realize it, but things didn't seem so partisan.
Right.
Like, in other words, if somebody did something wrong, like he was impeached, and he was impeached, I don't remember if it was unanimously, it might have been. It was pretty much like, you can't be doing this,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe the votes really were political. Maybe public opinion had gone so much against him that that's why the Republicans, also voted for impeachment. But it wasn't like it is now where you pretty much know somebody's stand almost all the time just based on the party they're in.
I don't know. I think in general, we probably have a much... what's the thing? Like, you look at the past with rose-colored glasses. I think we have a much more pleasant view of things that have happened in the past, even
Oh,
bad things like that, we think, well,
Yeah, you
people
always-
still, though, people were better at that time.
there's a word
and-
for
and
that.
all that.
There's a word. There's a word for that. I just saw this. I forget what it is.
But even
But where you look at where the past seems better than it was,
yes,
and it could be on a personal level or
on
like
a
that
bigger
case,
level,
a public level. Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm even thinking you could think back as far as you want. The thing that came to mind for me was like the founding fathers of the United States and everything. You know the basics about them that you learned in history class and all that.
Right.
But some of them did some really awful things that I don't remember learning about, and so it's like I don't know. I
Think
think
about it. I mean, even though some of them did awful things, but it was a product of the time.
I'm
But
not.
the big
I know,
thing they
but
did
I'm
is
not.
they found the United States.
I'm not
They found it.
blaming or excusing them for
I mean,
anything.
before that, nobody
Nothing
even
was
knew
there.
it was
Great.
here.
Anyway, it appears I'm in a bad mood today. Happy New Year, everyone. All right, moving on to
Listener feedback. Yeah.
listener feedback. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. On to listener feedback. This is from, now I don't remember again. Someone told me that I have to look up The Malice at the Palace. There's a good documentary on Netflix about it, but I was watching the game when it actually happened. It was insane. I still don't know what that is. I never actually looked that up, so it's
Put it on the list of things
it's
to
on
do.
my New Year's resolution
You should write
list.
it down. You should write it down.
Is this a joke? You're
Yeah.
making a joke. Go ahead,
Are
finish
you
the
mocking
joke.
me?
Finish the joke.
No, that's it. You told me I should write stuff down so I don't forget to call people.
Am I being judgmental right now?
You are. You're very judgmental.
I need to acknowledge it when it's happening. The first step to solving a problem is admitting that you have a problem,
Yeah.
which is more than I can say for you. Next.
So this year, your resolution is just to acknowledge it. Next year, you may try to.
Well, we'll see. It could take a long time to acknowledge it. We don't know.
Okay.
Another comment. Why did both of you guys talk about velvet as though it's a color and not a texture? Haha. You said you were thinking of violet.
No, but the thing is,
Well, this is
okay,
when we were talking about the Czech
that was
velvet
obviously
revolution.
it was early in the morning when we got that, and I thought at first, here's what happened. Okay, I saw the comment. I on my phone quick did a search, and I'm like, actually it was using AI, right? So
course.
it technically wasn't a search. And I specifically said, is velvet a color, or can velvet be a color, or whatever? And when I did it, it said, no, velvet is a fabric, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, okay, I guess it's just me. Well, what am I thinking then? I guess maybe I'm just thinking that. So that was my, right?
Here's what you have to do. It's like a bad journalist or a bad or a good lawyer? Question mark. I don't know. You have to lead the witness, leading questions.
Yeah.
So what I did when we got this comment, I was like, velvet.
What color
Interesting.
is?
So I Googled which color is velvet. And then that brought me that.
Right.
So
Right.
it technically is a color. After this person said that, I was like, velvet is in fact a fabric.
Yeah.
And I am wrong.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't admit that. And Google would not let me admit that either.
Yeah.
So we all win.
No, because I did think it was, or not just a fabric. And if it was later in the day, I probably would not have basically surrendered so quickly on it. I would have been like, no, I know this is, you know what I'm saying? And I would have done what you did. I would have searched that way.
Maybe that's something for you to work on
I should.
in the new year.
Yeah. What? Listening to you? Is that what you're going to say?
Anyway,
Okay.
So another comment. This was about me suggesting that there should be a test that you have to pass before you can vote, which I still stand behind. Would it be tricky to implement it? Are there a lot of issues and hurdles you need to get over? A lot of things that people need to agree on and all? Yes. I'm not saying it would be easy. However, I think it would benefit the country as a whole. Anyway, this person said, I don't know what I think about the whole people passing a quiz to vote thing. As always, the problem becomes figuring out who decides what should be on the quiz and oversees the execution of that plan in general. I think it's a slippery slope that I wouldn't trust anyone to manage, so it's good to avoid it altogether, which is a very fair
It is the slippery
belief
slope
and
thing.
response. I totally agree with that. I will just reiterate my former point, which is that the things on this test would be objective.
Yeah. I don't even think, because the one thing I was thinking about,
There's
like
no
you mentioned
what?
economics.
Yes.
I don't even think it has to be that. I think to avoid the slippery slope thing, it has to be like, how many senators are there? How many senators does each state get? Right? For your
That's what-
state,
okay.
it could be who is your, and it could be multiple choice question. Who is your congressman? Right?
Yes. But keep in mind, that is the argument that I tried to use, which was, what did I say? What are the three branches of government? That
Right.
was my example
Right.
of a objective quantitative, or not quantitative, just objective thing. And then the comment was a link to an article about the quote unquote fourth branch of government, which I didn't even see what it was, but it's obviously an unofficial term and all this stuff. And so I understand the argument that, quote unquote, everything is subjective, but it's not.
Right. Certain things aren't.
Certain things genuinely are not, and certain things
1984.
are just, don't even. We're not doing that
Animal
today.
Farm.
We're not doing that today. Because here's the thing. You want to get into this? Let's get into this. Because there are things about people saying, you could take 1984, you could take all this dystopian stuff where the government, or just anyone really, convinces people of something that is not true, but they convince them by whatever means necessary, right? Like one example that we saw was, a guy literally zapping someone's brain, like sending shocks until the person agreed. How many fingers am I holding up? He was holding up 4 fingers, but he wanted the person to say 6. So he kept like shocking him until he agreed it was 6.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, in that situation, the answer is still objective. It's still 4.
Right.
The correct answer has not changed.
Right.
And so while I understand the messaging behind that and about like, be careful about who's asking the questions and what answer they want and all that stuff, that's why I agree it would be difficult to implement a kind of test and for everyone to agree on the questions and the answers. I agree with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with, 2 + 2, again, take dystopian examples, 2 + 2 = 5.
Right.
That's just not, it's just not, that's not how it works.
Well, here's the thing. The questions really would have to be, it would need to take a lot to approve the questions or to change the questions. It couldn't just be 51% of the representatives have voted to change this. So it would have to be like, maybe it would have to be a unanimous vote.
And it would obviously be a bipartisan thing. It's not like one group or another would be taking control over it. So, and it's never going to happen. So I don't even know why we're talking about this as though it's going to happen. Anyway, moving on. One of the other ones was a listener informing me that it is not McCovey Cove, as I pronounced it.
Yeah, no, that
is
was,
in fact.
Yeah, that
McCovey
you just brought up.
Cove.
Right, that goes on this one.
I know. I'm saying that's the only other one I remember.
Willie McCovey.
So thank you for pointing out a mistake that I made. I've never heard that name in my life. Okay. We are now moving on to, appropriately,
the airing of grievances.
I'm pausing here.
Okay. Okay.
For the airing of grievances.
Yes.
We'll begin the new year with another grammar lesson. I know you all love these. Ooh. Jim, and you better be able to, since we've had this conversation already, can you explain to the listeners the difference between fewer and less, when you should use each?
Fewer is specific in numbers. Less is just a range or something. Was that it?
Or oh God.
Like a range of
Give me an example.
Oh man. Like if I have a dozen eggs and you have 9 eggs, I would say Samantha has 3 fewer eggs than I do.
That is correct. Now use less.
If I had 150 eggs,
no,
and you had
not going well.
I'm just saying a huge number. How about let's do it this way.
Huge numbers are still numbers.
If I had a box of sugar,
sure,
and you had a box of sugar that was not filled as high as my box of sugar. Both boxes are the exact same size box, by the way.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying.
I would say you have less sugar than I
That
do.
is
Wait,
correct.
is it you have less sugar than me?
No,
or you have
than
less sugar than I?
Then
No,
I.
that's can't be right.
It's then I, because if you were to continue the sentence, it would be then I do, not then me do. Anyway,
No, I know
moving
that,
on.
but if I'm not saying if I know if I were to say you have less sugar than I do, that would be correct.
Which is why it's I.
But if you have less sugar than me,
No, I'm explaining. Don't ask a question if you don't want the answer. I just gave you the answer. If you don't want to say less than I, then don't and say it incorrectly. But don't ask. This is a lovely grievance for me. Don't ask me and I'll give you the correct answer and you'll say, I don't like that.
okay.
Then don't ask me.
Let's say if I said
Oh, goodness. I have a headache.
John went to the beach with Samantha and me
That is me. Yes. Because with
to go to the
is
beach.
a preposition. What?
Okay. I'm trying to continue the sentence.
No, that's not how it works. I'll explain this to you with graphics and visuals and
And then Samantha
and a dry erase board.
with Samantha and me do.
No, because there's nothing after that. It's
I
just
added the
with
word do.
Samantha and me. You remember when we had that whole conversation about how you diagram sentences?
I think
That's the end of the sentence.
I think I purposely put that out of my head.
I'm sure you did. Anyway, go ahead. On to your grievance. Your grievance from the episode.
Do you remember
were
what my grievance was?
Amazon filters. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And I had another one too that I think was a better one, but now I forgot what it was.
Me too.
The Amazon website, the filters don't do what they say they're going to do.
True.
Okay, like obviously they have sponsored items mixed in, which makes it really hard to know. Like if you say, okay, show me only items that are rated 4 stars or higher, okay? It'll do that most times, but it'll throw in there sponsored items.
But it also, remember when you were looking up when you were getting the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm. I limited
you did
it
it
by price.
No, you limited it by ratings. You did 4 stars and up.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And it gave you.
And it gave me what,
You
3-star
just said
ones?
You limited it by price.
I also limited it by price.
That's fine. I'm just telling you what you're talking about right now is that
Right.
one of your filters was 4 stars and up. And one of the non-sponsored options that you received back was 3 stars.
The bottom line is it just doesn't work. Even if you say sort by customer, average customer rating, it'll start out right. And then you go down a little bit and all of a sudden there's like, it's just messed up. It's just wrong. Check it out if you don't believe me. That.
I feel like, what?
No, there was something else that I was thinking of before. I can't remember what it is now. Man,
know,
it was
I
good
feel
too.
like I raised my voice enough this episode that I should stop my complaining there. I'm trying to be less
Oh, come on.
judgmental this
I'm sure
year.
you have another one.
I have another grammar one. Nobody wants to hear that.
Okay.
Nobody. Actually, I do have one more. I'll save my grammar one for next week. Sorry, everyone. But another thing that annoys me, people that have multiple registration stickers, like the renewal thing on the back of their on their license plates on the back of their car. You know how like you're supposed to put it in the corner, like when you renew your license.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Why are you looking at me like this?
Because I'm wondering what you're going to say.
I said it already.
No, but when you say multiple, do you mean
You know how is every license plate like this? That
Where it
there's
has a little
specific
spot where you put it.
you're
Yeah,
supposed to
yes,
put it. Okay,
yes.
so everybody around the country, the United States,
the
at least,
sticker
knows
with
what I'm
just
talking
the
about.
year?
It's like, so it's when your birthday is. So mine is 10/20. Well, this year's 10/25. So mine will expire 10/25. So that's what it
Mhm.
says on the sticker. You have to get a new one.
Right.
People will, instead of peeling that sticker off and replacing it with the new one, the 10/26 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Have you not seen this? Do you not know
Well,
what
tell
I'm
me
talking
because I'm
about?
trying to figure out.
That
I
they
don't know
put-
what you're saying. I've seen or
That
not
they
seen.
put those stickers in like all 4 corners.
No, I haven't seen
or
that.
2 corners or 3 corners.
No,
so it'll
I've
literally,
never-
the other day I'm driving, I see a whatever it was, 12/22, 12/23, 12/24, 12/25 in the
No.
4 corners.
I've never noticed that.
It was, and and is this the dumbest thing ever to be concerned about? Yes, but you look dumb. What?
I thought at first you were
This
going to
is
say
judgmental. Now I feel judgmental and I'm
No, but
self-conscious
but it
about
is.
being
It's just-
judgmental.
it's a stupid thing. But I thought you were going to say you you get frustrated that people just put the one sticker over the last sticker instead of like
I don't
trying
care
to peel
if
the
people
old
do
one
that.
off
At
with
least
a
it's
razor
still in the
blade
right
or whatever.
spot.
Okay, well, I thought, until you get like 20 years in, and then you have
Who gets 20 years in?
it's like a three-dimensional thing.
No one
because
makes it
it's
that long.
okay. Well, anyway, yeah,
We'll all
no,
be dead
I get,
before then.
I get that. I think so. In general, though, because they give you the instructions, they tell you
People
what to
don't
do.
read instructions. They don't know how
That's
to
what-
clean their stainless steel, and they don't read the instructions. I feel like I'm having an existential crisis right now.
Yeah, you seem very. I know why.
Per our podcast name.
Yeah,
What?
you work tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's why.
that's not why.
That's why you're in a bad mood.
I hope you all go into the weekend. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. Make good choices, and we'll see you all back here on Tuesday.
Will we?
God only knows.
Oh, you should do a little promo for our potential upcoming Auto Train episode.
I will not. Goodbye.
Live from the Auto Train.
Goodbye, everyone.
Live from the Auto Train.
Goodbye. This week
Auto Train.
in history.
Live from the Auto Train.
Did we use this one already? Or did I use this one in the
I
episode?
don't know which one you're talking
Now I'm
about.
confused.
So I
This
can't.
is from... Was this last week that we talked about this?
If you start telling me what it is, maybe I'll
From
remember.
the episode where we argued because I was in a bad mood.
Oh, that was an old
No,
one.
I did that. I used this one already, didn't I?
Yeah, if that.
I don't know where we are then. Oh no. If only you would not have missed.
No, I think
the
that was it. I think you
recording.
covered them.
No, I didn't because
You're going to have to really cut this out.
this will be the outtake.
You need a theme for the outtakes.
Because there
Sing
was-
it. Sing the outtakes.
Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun.
These are the outtakes.
No, I was just doing the music that we put.
I know the regular.
Maybe I didn't delete the other one. I remember one of the other ones